Hey folks, I'm Old Norse Specialist Dr. Jackson Crawford, and I've got a lot of core content coming at you soon again on this channel. But anyone who's watched this channel for a while knows that I take a lot of side quests and my other interests, and one of those, as I've explored occasionally, is lights. And Olight has been sending me lights to test, and I've already talked about a couple flashlights that I've gotten from them. Today I want to talk about a weapon-mounted light, the Olight PLX that they sent me. So I've separately posted a video with some in-the-field testing that I did in Arizona with Ian. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the features here. It's really nice. Three things that I would just say, right out the gate. The big headline things: USB-C rechargeable, which is cool. I've never seen a WML that was rechargeable, and that's great. I don't like having to, have batteries here, there, and yon for different things. Solid mount, does not shake off. You can fire as much as you want through a pistol with this thing on, and it doesn't shake. The ratchet's very good. And dual beam, so you got a floodlight and a spotlight, and I really like the light level of both. They're not too bright and they're not too dim. So what you've got is typical Picatinny rail mounted WML, and you can actually move this to mount it on different lengths of barrel, right? So you can mount it closer or further from you depending on where that trigger guard comes to. You can hit the buttons with your right hand or your left hand to activate it. You can get momentary on, or you can leave it on, whichever way you prefer. Also, it does come with a, by the way, speaking of that ratchet in the mounting system, you can mount a that weird particular rail that Glocks sometimes have that comes with an adapter for that. USB-C rechargeable. There's just a little gate down here where you can plug in your little USB-C. As I mentioned, I think in the field video, I have been charging this about once a week of continuous use. So when I've been shooting it, I haven't been shooting it at night, but I'm just leaving it on just to see what the battery life would be like, right? And so after a week of doing that, it'll go from the little battery indicator you can see here is green. It'll go from green to yellow, which I think means yellow is 66% of the battery. So that's pretty good. So I suspect that if you were shooting this a fair amount, shooting a weapon with this a fair amount with the light on, you would need 2 weeks before you should actually be nervous. But I think that my schedule of recharging it about once a week has been pretty good. Controls are easy. So, like I said, the on-off switch is left or right. I like ambidextrous things, so that's nice. The switch for spotlight versus floodlight is only on the left side. So you turn it, let's see, I'm trying to remember which one, yeah. Up is the spotlight, which I have largely left it on. And then down is the floodlight, which is also really nice. I mean, if you're walking around like a house with it, I guess that's probably what you would use. But one thing that I like about the spotlight is the diameter of the internal circle is pretty good for just very rough targeting. So that's kind of nice. One thing that I worry about with these lights is it being so bright that I'm going to turn a corner in a white-walled room, like perhaps this one, and blind myself, right? Because it's going to hit a white wall so close that it's going to, kind of come back and reflect too hard at me. This isn't too bright, but it's definitely bright enough to see everything you need to see. And of course, the purpose of something like this is to make you a little bit safer and not have to be, trying to balance light and pistol at the same time. It's just really just the right brightness, and I've got to say that's a major plus. Holsters, there's people that have been making holsters for it. They're all going to be custom makers right now in early 2026 still, so be prepared to wait on the holster makers. But it's good to see that the market is starting to respond to this, because the footprint is not the same as a previous, you know, like a Balder from Olight, which I kind of wish they'd send me just so I could talk about, you know, a light that has an Old Norse name that's actually spelled like Old Norse. But anyway, holsters have generally been just for really common models so far, and that's not an Olight problem, that's a me problem because I have weird tastes. But you know, if you shoot something that a normal person shoots, you'll probably have no problem finding a holster for it. Cuando lo sabes, lo sabes. So it is positive review. If I had to offer one bit of feedback for the next generation of these, it might be nice to have the floodlight spotlight switch on the right side as well, but not a big deal, because as I would normally hold the pistol, actually my left thumb is right by this, at least on a, you know, normal length pistol, normal length trigger guard, so it's pretty easy to just work with my thumb in the very place that my thumb rests anyway. So check out the video with a little bit of shooting. We left out some pistol malfunctions that were encountered, but that's the pistol's problem, not the light's problem. I think I'll take the star.
Look, that is a prime quality Colombian pistol.
I know it is.
Nice.
It cycled. And from beautiful Colorado, thanks for watching, and all the best to you. Thanks Olight too for sending me lights to play around with. All right, Walther P99, 17-ish yards. Let's see.